Welcome to Disc Ladyada, live from Brooklyn.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Yeah, we are still settling in. Haven't done as much hardware lately. We did that big RP 2350 push last week. Thanks everybody for joining in on us. We had Turkey Python Day last week.
Big giant sale, which is over. Thank you everybody who participated. Big week for Raspberry Pi RP 2350, including Circuit Python Day. So
Yeah,
check it
we'll
out.
get those
Big
boards
guys are up.
in soon. Okay. So this week, as we're moving, like we've unearthed all sorts of stuff. So this is a PLEO dinosaur. It's green, so it's just to show up the green screen, but it's what it looks like. It's got like a movable neck, a movable head. This moves in the eyeballs, up, open and close. It can go to sleep. Slightly movable tail, and it can like walk slowly. Um, this one, was designed by the same guy. Like, I looked up really fast on Wikipedia. It was designed by the same guy who did the Furby. Obviously, he had like so much success with that. He was like allowed to kind of go and do, um, whatever indie robot he wanted. So he did this, um, you know, plesiosaur, and it had kind of like mixed reviews. Like it's a very cool robot, but had like some little bit of shortcomings to read about. It's apparently quite loud. The battery life is a little rough. It only lasts like 45 minutes or an hour, which makes sense. I'll show you with the battery pack. But the platform as like a robotics platform is pretty cool. So we might end up like, doing custom programming for it. Um, doing like our own design. So it's like just maybe we can look on the overhead at some of the things I noticed. I don't want to pull the skin off. The skin is also quite delicate. So if you're going to give this to kids, they have to be careful because it's like you could with fingernails, you could rip it pretty easily. All right, so we'll go to the overhead.
Yeah. One thing worth mentioning is this came out. I want to look at the exact year.
2006.
2006. So there's a Subaru PLEO, and then there's like a financial company PLEO, not to be confused. But it came out February 7th, 2006. So not bad, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And
And immediately went out of business.
a year, but about a year later, they just went out of business, and that was it. But there's a bunch of these out there, and so we want to show how to recycle and turn them into stuff. Our kid wakes up in the morning. She's very young, but she's she has some words, and she says, "Dinosaur." So we had
Thought.
yeah, we had one of these, and the batteries eventually die. So I'm like, oh, this will be a great Disco Ladyada and great search. So what are we doing first?
Okay, well, let's just take a look at what it's got here because maybe it's like it's old enough. A lot of people probably haven't seen these. So this is it. It's got this like cool, this is not related. Um, this cool kind of rubbery skin, and underneath you can feel like the motor ligaments and stuff. So the neck, there's like a um, motor here, and there's a spring that kind of keeps it in place. I don't think know if the head moves back and forth. I think it just moves up and down.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
The eye,
yeah.
oh, it does. Well, okay. Yeah, that's kind of like that's what it does. Can you go back to the overhead? Um, it looks like there's like some sort of sensor here, maybe like a light sensor or something. These are eye sensors. There's touch sensors apparently, on top of the body, capacitive touch sensors. The mouth opens and closes. On the front of the nose, there's a distance sensor, and then also some other kind of sensor, maybe like a color or light sensor, or a camera, maybe. It looks like it might be a camera. And this is definitely a distance sensor because you can see like one light, one dark. So this is like an IR reflected sensor. On the feet, there's the feet move, but there's also buttons on the feet. So it can when it walks, it knows like when it's touching the ground or not. On off button, switch, reset, like ginormously long reset button, just kind of hilarious. Mini B, which was the standard at the time. SD card slot, so you can like save and load programs onto it, like personalities and stuff. This is the battery pack. So it's we're charging with nickel metal hydride, 22 milliamp hour, 7.2 volts, because it's 6 batteries. So they're just like, it's not technically nickel metal hydride times 6 would be like 8, right? 1.2, well, actually it's 1.25 times 6. That's like 7.5 volts. Okay, so it's like 7.5, a little bit more volts out of here. And then there's actually 3 contacts. And I was like, why are there 3 contacts? So there's 2 contacts. I think these are the power and ground contacts. And there's a third one. The third one is apparently a thermistor. Because, and I think, this is the big issue, is there's a lot of motors in this, like a lot. And motors, like, they draw like an amp easily, these servo motors. And so I think you can easily draw like 4 amps out of these battery packs, and so they would overheat. And so to limit the overheating, especially if the kid is like holding back the motor and it's stalling, it can draw a couple amps. And so to keep the battery from overheating, there's a thermistor in here because the charger doesn't have a thermistor, or it does. Yeah, sorry, it does have it does use the thermistor, which is this third one. Probably just a 10K NTC. But when it's drawing current, you normally don't have to worry as much about it with a nickel metal hydride, but like I guess it was drawing so much current that they had to shove it in. And then I don't know if you can see it in here because it's like far in, but like if you actually look, it says, you can see it says like red, NTC, black, and then white, NTC. So these are the 3 wires that go into a, this is, so you can end this, and you can see the power cable that goes from the power. And then you can actually see a motor over here too, one of the geared motors. So so the battery pack is the thing that dies. So like, we got this battery pack and we immediately plug it in, and we can,
You can turn off that one.
oh, so the things are opposite each other. So this is 2.7 volts. So like this battery is dead. And this was probably made in 2006. So it really is, it's not just like it's a dead battery, it's probably like gone into like voltage reversal. It just needs to be a new battery pack altogether. This is the charger. And I'll leave it charged in, but I just know like if the battery pack is that old, it needs to be remade. But also we could probably make it with, I had a couple of ideas. One is, you can see and feel that this is 6 AA batteries. Like this says, you can see the battery behind the heat shrink here. Do you want me to open it?
Yeah, we're going to be completely changing this, so I think this is okay.
Yeah, let me just get it.
Yeah. Here's some footage of the dinosaur while Ladyada gets some tools.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the overhead again. So it's gonna be like really careful. And
like theoretically, you could also replace the cells, right? Like.
Yeah. So what we're probably gonna do it. Well, let's just see. I looked at videos, but
See what's going on.
oh yeah, like you can see this tabbed component. So that's the NTC. You can even see the little blob. It's a little white blob, but inside the white blob, you can see this little bump. So that's the NTC. This is negative, this is positive, and then the NTC connects to here. And then these are just AA batteries that are tabbed together. I do need to figure out how to remove these without not break it. So I'm not going to pull this apart right now.
Yeah, we'll look online. There's a bunch of guides.
I don't want to make the mistake of like.
Maybe we'll update it. Maybe we'll make a guide too. I don't know.
Yeah, you can see this one is bare, but these are, you can see underneath that these are tabbed. They're tabbed soldered together, and this is not unusual. Like a lot of, you can see some oxidation in here. See the little white gunk. So
Oh.
it could be some oxidation on the tabs as well. Yeah, and here's, oh yeah, these are all like super gunky, yucky. They look a little moldy. So those are the tab batteries. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just get 6 tab batteries or like a 6 tab battery pack, like this, and just get the battery like to a state of functionality again.
Yeah.
And then, so you go to the computer. I was looking around because I was like, okay, well, what? Like, I'm not the first person to do this, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna learn. So it's like PLEO World, and everyone's like, how to refurbish the pack. And you get, the only thing is that this is like, a form while the images are gone, because like, it's like
It's from 2009.
yeah, it's like this is ancient, and so like this is like HTTP, and
Yeah.
there's text but no images. There's also some text, places on archive.org, and there's a guy who does do, no longer, but for a while he was making lithium ion packs, because if you think about it, it's 6, I think, I just did the math, 6 times 1.2 volts, whatever, 7.4 volts nominal. You could probably do 2, like really, you could do, 4, either 2 really big or 4 semi-parallel semi series lithium ion batteries. And this would be, first off, you get a lot more current draw out of lithium ion batteries. But you can easily get, this is like the size of a 660 pack, or 440 pack. So just, you'd get a custom pack made, but like,
Yeah. Could do.
you can see like this in comparison is,
In
the pack sizes are way bigger.
In 2006, what was the cost and availability of a lithium ion battery pack like this?
They had them. They didn't have the 10 amp ones. So what I'm saying is like lithium ion batteries have, because of like people doing EV
Yeah.
stuff and, drones and everything that uses, I mean, these are the Panasonic 18650 cells, which are like, those are going to be larger than AA's. So we probably use other ones, but like the technology itself has like gotten so much better. Used to be like definitely the 660 packs. I mean, this is part number 353. So, this is, we've had this, I don't know when we first put it in the store, but like,
yeah,
at least since like 2014. So we probably put it in the store 1212. And they had these, but the problem is that these, I wouldn't trust customers with lithium ion batteries for a kid's toy.
Yeah.
It's too risky, because if these overheat, they just get damaged, and like they get hot, and maybe like the plastic melts. If these get too hot, and it looks like they kind of rushed this to production a little bit, if these batteries get too hot, they cause a fire.
Yeah.
And it's like a very bad fire. So, not even sure I will do this mod, but like I can see why people would do this mod. This is a 3.7 volt pack, but instead of having 3 in parallel, you would have like maybe 2 in parallel of the high current, high pack outputs. So these are 5,000 milliamp hours a piece, and like they're not like fake 5,000; they really are 5,000. So you basically get double the battery life immediately, if you could get 2 5,000 milliamp hour batteries that fit into this enclosure, and then you'd 3D print a case that would fit over this, and then you just do this little plastic piece that goes in and snaps closed, which is not crazy complicated. It's interesting is like, there are people who've made 3D printed packs for these as well. So that's something that's more advanced. I think I would just start with rebuilding the AA battery pack. Okay, so let's go to the great search.
Where in the world is that part I need? The great search with DigiKey.
The Great Charge, brought to you by DigiKey and Adafruit. Thank you. DigiKey, every single league leader uses power of engineering to find things that are needed
For dinosaurs.
for anything. And I think this is a good example of being able to find this retro toy. It's retro. And you're going to need to buy some stuff. And you're going to need to search for some things, and you might not be familiar with it. So to DigiKey we go.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna rebuild this PLEO. Can you show what it looks like without the green screen? Just so people.
Yeah, I've got a
Yeah, you got the image. Okay. So it's green. That's why it's showing up black. So this is the PLEO toy from 2006, and it needs a battery pack, which we just investigated. So on the overhead, this is the battery pack. It's constructed of 6 AA batteries. 3 of them, they're all in series because the battery pack output is 7.2 volts nominal, 2.2 amp hour, which, it's not too bad actually. These are like fairly good quality AA batteries. If you look at like, my Enna loops, these are 1900, and these are pretty recent. Let me look at my Amazon basic ones because these I just bought them. These are, I think, 2000 milliamp. Yeah, so these are 2000 milliamp hours. So this is actually like, these are, and this was in 2006. So these are like, particularly nice batteries. These batteries are higher capacity. And I mentioned just in the desk of Ladyada that we might reconstruct this with a lithium ion pack to get, double the capacity and faster rechargeability. But to start, I just want to rebuild this. So this battery is totally dead. Measuring the voltage on this is like one volt, 2.5 volts. So, and if you look inside, it's kind of tough to see, but there is the white dust of oxidation. The battery sitting uncharged, unused for so long. You have a limited number of charges anyways. You should charge a couple hundred times. So let's find batteries. And the thing is, we can't just use, I would love to be able to just like pop in your standard AA batteries. That would be great. Also, because then you could charge the battery separately and then you could like reassemble the pack.
There's some guides too where there's an instructables, but it just we're gonna probably supervise our kid with this, so we're probably not gonna do that.
What?
There's a guide on instructables on using AA's.
Oh, just AA's. Yeah. I mean, like, there's a lot of options.
You can do a lot of things.
But then they
Maybe you should.
They pop out easily. Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll take a look, right? You never know. Maybe this would be a good project. But then you could have more than one double pack. One nice thing about this pack, I'll say, that's blessed, is there's an NTC thermistor, but there's no like one wire smart authentication chips. Right? Like that didn't exist at the time where like, you can't use it like my PSP, whatever.
That's what's killed off the dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's like it was an illegal battery pack. So let's find some tab batteries, and DigiKey definitely has these. Let's go to the computer. Okay, so we're gonna look for nickel metal hydride AAs, and then we will find the ones that are packed. So let's start with the individuals because I kind of did look at this. So we want active AAs, apply, and then one thing, we mentioned we do, for this robot, you need to have very good capacity. So it has to be at least 2 amps of capacity. And second, you'll notice a lot of these, like you can get really good 2.5 amp hour batteries. Ooh, these are great. Panasonic, Duracell, Energizer. But the problem is that they're button top. They're not tabbed. Well, this one's tabbed. She's kind of a one off tab, but most of them are not. Most of them are just button. So we want to get tabbed ones. Let's see what's available. So this is actually just a random one. This is not actually, this is 2.8 amp hour, but like I said, it's not tabbed. So this is the only one available. So this one has tabs, and you can, these are spot welded on, but and watch out because sometimes you need flat top, but I think most of the time it's okay to have the button top. You can solder to these. You just bend them out of the way. You just have to use like a really good iron, and you act really fast. But you can build any pack you want with these. But you'll see they're much more expensive than this. You know, like for they're basically $5 a piece, $6 a piece. Whereas these batteries, from PK Cell, you get 4. They're like half the price basically. They're $2.50 a piece, not $5 a piece. So that's the thing with the tab, because not a lot of people need tabs. So if you're gonna DIY, make them, you'd get 6 of these, and that's an option. Let's look at what we've got for packs. So one thing to note is for the pack, can you get the overhead again? And this is non-standard. A lot of packs, the positive and negative are here. So this is like the positive, and this would be the matching negative. And then, when you measure across this, that would give you the full voltage. But that's actually not what's going on with this one. Because if you look here, the positive and negative are on kitty corners. And so if you're going to get a full pack that's 2x6, sorry, 2x3, a lot of them have these two be the positive and negative, not these two. And then you're not going to have the right charging setup. So if we go back to the computer, battery packs. So let's look for active AA's and either 3 or 6, because like we're either going to solder in 3 or like use the 6-pack. We've already decided we need over 2 amps. And you saw there's the front to top to back, whatever. You just have to like look for which one. So, you can get these, and you just have to like these are top style, so you don't want this. So this would be okay. These ones are not, because they're the long style. This one would also be okay. What's the difference between these two? Let's compare. Can we compare? I don't know if that worked. Okay. What's the difference? These look very similar. 355, 18. Oh, you know what? I bet this is 27. 18 probably means 1800 milliamp hour. Let's look what the data sheet says. Yeah, this is 1800, and this is 2700. So these are actually like really good batteries. They actually made them with nice battery packs, but they're going to be a lot more expensive. Again, they're like $5 a piece. So that's a good option. Let me shrink this a little bit. Okay. Don't want this one. So it doesn't look like they have the 6-pack in the cube shape. So the answer is to get these. This will actually be a really nice upgrade because, like I said, they're 2700 milliamp hours. So you're going to get like 25% more capability. These are, it's a marketplace. So these are probably like soldered to order. So you'll need 2 of them, $35, and you have to pay $10 shipping. It's the price of dealing with the kind of a archaic technology. And then I showed these in the, what's interesting is if you buy the individual batteries, it's actually a little bit more expensive. So you're actually better off buying this 3-pack, and you solder, you do the 1 solder point, and then the thermistor you can just recycle. So we'll probably do that next week. So I'm gonna
this is gonna be a 2-parter. Yeah.
Okay, and that's the one I picked. So this one, 2700, nice update. You'll just need 2 of them. You'll rip the plastic off, and then you'll solder the 2 tabs. You can see the tabs on the corner here. And then you just solder a little flat wire, or you just like bend it and solder it. And that's how you make your 6-pack.
All right.
Okay, thanks everybody.
That's a great search.
Where in the world is that part I need? The great search with DigiKey.
And that's Disc Ladyada this week. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you throughout the week. We have a full schedules of shows.
Yes, we're definitely getting back. You know, we're going to be definitely doing show this week. Scott's doing deep dive.
Yeah,
JP's back on his schedule. Thanks for doing the Wednesday shows on Friday. Yeah, he's
That's right.
trying to schedule a lot, but we're kind of through like the big shifts and changes, and yeah, we might have a scheduling update for some of
We're
these videos, but
back.
we'll tell you.
All right. See everybody next week for part 2 of the dinosaur upgrade.
Bye.